About shadowing, what is the correct way to use it in our daily studying? Good question. um, for those of you who don't know, shadowing is a technique usually used for pronunciation. It doesn't have to be strictly for pronunciation, but that's where you are taking some sort of reference, like an audio file or a video. You're listening to someone speak and you're trying to mimic them, basically. It's also called mimicking, parroting, many different things. I like to call it shadowing. And if you're interested, Professor Gellies, I hope I'm spelling that right. He has a YouTube channel, and he's where I learned about shadowing initially. He's very academic, kind of dry in a way, a little bit boring sometimes, but I don't follow exactly the way that he says, but you can learn more from him if you want. What's the best way to use it in your daily studying? That's ultimately going to depend on what you need. A lot of people ask, what's the best way to do this? What's the best way to do that? And although there are some things that are maybe not so good or that are better, generally it depends on you and it depends on your goals. So what do you need? For example, if you're doing pronunciation shadowing and let's say the rhythm of your language is very different than English, or even more difficult, it's subtly different than English. Let's take an easy example between, I don't know, Japanese and English, very different rhythms. So if that's one of your problems, then what you should do is you should spend some time, maybe 20 minutes a day, 30 minutes a day, or less if that's all you can do, 10 minutes. I mean, that's okay. For say a week, 2 weeks, a month, however long you need, to really focus in on matching the rhythm, noticing, oh, this is how English speakers speak. And even though I had all those years of experience with Japanese, which, I mean, I didn't get very far. I didn't know what I was doing at the time, but I never picked up on the rhythm, which is interesting because I have a really good ear. I'm really good with sounds. But when there was a period several years ago when I was trying to improve my spoken Japanese with my partner at the time. I had him record a self-introduction that him and I worked on, translating into Japanese. And what I noticed was the rhythm really stood out to me. So, for example, in English, if I say, hi, I'm Josh. I'm an English teacher from San Diego, and I'm 31 years old. Okay, so in Japanese, right? はじめまして。私はムーアです。サンディエゴに住んでいる英語の教師で。And then it was 26歳, which is 26 years old. Yeah, that was 5 years ago. 31歳です. There we go. So you can tell it's a very different rhythm. If you don't pay attention to that, then it's not going to help you very much. It's not going to transfer into your speaking skills. If you need to focus on the rhythm, focus on the rhythm. If you need to focus on everything, then take some time. You can break it into pieces, right? So you can either do where you focus on the basic sounds for a while. You can mix it a little bit. You can take a particular sentence, for example. But if you say okay, I was walking home. Okay, that's your sentence. And you're listening to somebody say, right, I was walking home. I was walking home. I was walking home. And you're playing that. You can do one pass, like go through it once, where you focus on the rhythm, for example, right? So you're just focusing on like, you're not even worried about the sounds. You're not worried about the words. You're just trying to get that flow. And maybe you do that, I don't know, 6, 7, 8, 9 times, however many times you want. More is better generally. And then you go and you do another pass where you're focused on, okay, am I hitting all the sounds, right? So I, it's a diphthong. Was, we have W sound, schwa sound. It's not was, right? Or was. The S is a Z. So you have to notice these details and then mimic them, right? I was, and then was walk, zwa. I was walking. The L is silent and walking. It's not walking. So I hope that that helps answer your question. The correct way or the best way is just to focus on what you need to do and then make sure that you do that. Specific questions I can answer, but beyond that, it comes down to what you need, or it's based on what you need.